We're gonna wrap a Tacoma hood, satin black with a hood scoop. Hopefully you enjoy it. All right, we're just gonna peel this back edge. I'm gonna tack this corner. And then we're gonna get this going here. There we go. That hood is hot. First off, we're gonna pin that corner, pin this corner, and then we're gonna come across, and we're gonna pull this tight. There we go. And then come down to this corner. So you're gonna four corner this thing first. And then we'll pull these centers, make sure that that's good, and then finish off pulling that last little bit of excess off this corner. What we're doing here is we're glassing out this hood. Goal being is if we glass this out, we don't get a bunch of lines as we lay it down, which are called adhesive lines. And the vinyl actually lays a lot smoother and better if you have it glassed out. So if you look right here, you can see all of the areas. We're gonna finish glassing this last corner. So again, we're gonna take this whole corner and just give it a good pull. I'm gonna pull down around this one, hook that corner, pull forward here, and hook that corner. We have this hood scoop. We already have some wrap that we put on it a while back. So we're just gonna start laying it down. Squeegee and a glove is what we're gonna use today. All right, so now I'm just gonna start right here in the center. And I'm gonna work my way back and forth and just get this top little area finished up. You come around the corner, just work it around that corner, and those will go away. There we go. Yeah. Now, when this comes to this edge right here, this is probably going to seal off because of what we did. So down here, I'm going to pop this up so that this air can run down and out the hood. And that ghost glove is nice. All right. And I see the air is flowing down in there. Now on this one, I'm going to come this direction because I have the availability here of just popping that open, and this air will flow right out. And you'll notice with that pre-stretch on here, I have not used any heat. So glassing it out and just knowing where and how to work your vinyl makes this part a little bit easier. And we'll flow this all down there. It might actually be, there it goes. This is a satin finish, so I did wet my squeegees a little bit just so it glides nice. You can get little bits of scratching on matte finishes and gloss finishes. You can heat it, torch it, and glass it out, but to make it a little bit easier in the beginning, just wet that squeegee. Now we're going to take this, cold stretch that down, hook that corner, We're gonna come over here. This is an older hood. There's a few little chips and that in there. Hook that corner. Finish this out, nice and clean. Then we're gonna go around the edge. Now see what I did on this hood, didn't mention it in the very beginning there, but I lifted the hood up and put a little block in there so that we could have the hood slightly raised as we're doing all of this, okay? Now that corner, I've done this before and showed some of you guys if you watch the videos where we hook this corner. So I cold stretch it, hook it, cold stretch it and hook it, and you can see the tension that it has kind of back on itself right there. And we're just gonna heat these. So where I cold stretched it and just finished that corner out nice and clean. So we had a cold stretch, then we relaxed that vinyl right up and around those edges. And that is gonna make those corners super clean. I can go right in at the corner, cut out, right in under that corner, cut out. Or you can just come right in. Doesn't really matter, but now on those corners, the benefit of doing it this way is those corners, there's no wrinkles, there's no fingers, they are completely sucked in and tight and they will not fail. So if you have some issues with corners, that's a great way to do it. Now it's just rinse and repeat. And hook again. Beautiful. The back, I just roll this along the back. It's empty face back there. You can just trim right along that bottom edge, nice and clean. Get that stuff out. And then on the back, you do basically the same thing that we do up front, where we hook. So when I first start, I hook these corners so that I can come around them and make them nice and clean. If you're not going to remove this piece, if you just have a nice clean one, you'll have a slight white edge. On this hood, we'll have a slight white gap in there, but it's minute. If you don't want that, you need to pull this out, wrap that face. So this is gonna be one where you have just a small little bit of white showing, but for those that don't know how to remove something, it makes it a little bit easier. So I'm just gonna come right along the edge. And what I've done is I made sure I kept consistent along this edge right here. And then here, I'm gonna press down a little bit more, and I wanna keep the spread of the vinyl right here consistent as I did on the back. That way, if there is a little bit of a gap showing, it is the same. And like I said, this can be minimal, but for those that don't have the ability to remove things, tools, whatever, this is a great option, especially on a hood or something like this that is not easy for you to see anyway. And this whole time, same as I always do, maintain a very short blade. All right. I'm gonna pull this up and I'm just gonna let it relax just a little bit into here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right to the edge. I'm gonna put my finger there so it doesn't move. And now we're just gonna try and shove it in there. All right, we're gonna trim this section out right there, then come to the middle so we can get this stuff to where we don't have a whole bunch. We're gonna get rid of this. So now we can see what we're working on. When it's black, it's really hard to see what you're working on. So we're just gonna go right to here. I'm gonna go a fuzz farther. Right there. There we go. There. Now we can see where we're at. We're just going to give a little heat each one of those corners. Take the back side of our squeege and finish this corner out. Same thing over here. Stuff's all finished out around the edge. Finishing touch. Beautiful. Now we're just gonna make sure everything's no little air pockets here that I'm missing. All these edges real well. Not everybody has this, but I'm gonna do a quick torch. So a few little hairline scratches in from the squeegee. Because it's a satin finish, you can't spend a lot of time. You have to be very fast with it, but it'll smooth out and get rid of all those as I go over and torch this. Go. Quick hood wrap on a Toyota Tacoma with a hood scoop without removing the scoop. Clean, simple, looks amazing. Bruh. Bruh.